Put an eyesight in. I feel like I can hear myself now. Okay. Yeah, thank you, sir. Sorry about that. We had a little bit of technical difficulties. I do want to say thanks to our Metro Cable team for supporting us in all of these meetings. I'm calling the meeting of the Sacramento County Planning Commission to order. Today is July 28th at 5:37 p.m. Madam Chair, should we please call the roll? Madam Clerk, I apologize.
Thank you very much, Vice Chair. Members Borja?
Here.
Members Corona Sabignano?
Here.
Members Verga?
Here.
And with those members present, we do have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I believe we are now going to be doing the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And Madam Clerk, can you please make the announcement?
Yes, the county fosters public engagement during the meeting and encourages public participation, civility, and the use of courteous language. The Commission does not condone the use of profanity, vulgar language, gestures, or other inappropriate behavior, including personal attacks or threats directed toward any meeting participant. Seating may be limited and available on a first-come, first-served basis. To make an in-person public comment, please complete and submit a speaker request form to the clerk. Each individual will be invited to the podium to make a comment. Members of the public may send a written comment, which is distributed to commission members and filed in the record. Contact information is optional and should include the meeting date and agenda off-agenda item number to be sent as follows. Email a comment to boardclerk@saccounty.gov. Mail a comment to 700 H Street, Suite 2450, Sacramento, California, 95814.
Thank you, ma'am. I understand that we do need Chair Conklin for item number 1. And so if there are no issues here, I'd like to move to item number 2. And if you could read that item to the record.
Item number 2 is PLMP 2024-0003. This is a zoning ordinance amendment, conditional use permit, and design review. This property is located at 8881 Calavine Road, approximately 275 feet west of the intersection of Elk Grove, Florin Road, and Calavine Road in the Vineyard community, and the environmental document is a mitigated negative declaration.
Oh, there we go. Thank you. Good evening, Planning Commissioners. My name is Christian Baltazar. I'm an Associate Planner with Planning Environmental Review and Lead Planner for the Calavine Shower Project. The subject site is located at 8881 Calavine Road in the Vineyard community and consists of a singular parcel at about 2.5 acres in size and is currently vacant. The subject site is within the light commercial or LC zoning district and borders the city of Elk Grove to the south. To the east, you have a tire shop, and to the west is a general retail store, both of which are also zoned LC. To the north of the site is a newly developed daycare, which is also zoned light commercial, and abutting the site to the northwest is a multifamily apartment complex zoned RD20. In terms of entitlement history, the site has had 3 previous planning entitlements, one of which includes an approved general plan amendment, community plan amendment, rezone, and tentative parcel map approved by the Board of Supervisors on August 29, 2007. The approval rezoned the site to the current zoning districts, and additionally, the tentative parcel map that was approved with this request was never recorded, and so it subsequently expired. This project did also include plans for development for a commercial shopping center consisting of 3 buildings along with associated parking and landscaping. At the time of approval, there were no specific uses or businesses anticipated to occupy the proposed retail buildings. However, the project exhibits included a defined site plan and landscape plan for future development. and so the rezone ordinance was conditioned to comply with these exhibits. One of the requests that's being brought to you forward today is a zoning ordinance amendment to remove this condition from the rezone ordinance to allow an alternative site development design. The final approval documents for this previous approval are included as attachment 4 of your hearing packets. Along with that, there was also 2 separate additional planning entitlement requests for the site, one of which includes a major non-discretionary design review for a 26-unit multifamily apartment and a new retail building, as well as a zoning ordinance amendment. Both of these requests were subsequently withdrawn, so they were never brought forward. Lastly, I do want to note that there is also a concurrent request for a PCN, or a letter of public convenience and necessity, for a type 20 liquor license that's being processed for this site concurrently as well. Staff also reviewed current code enforcement violations and has concluded there are no active cases at this time. The request today is a zoning ordinance amendment, a conditional use permit for an automobile fueling station, a 24-hour convenience store within 500 feet of residential zoning district, and a drive-through car wash, as well as a design review to determine substantial compliance with countywide design guidelines. On screen now, we have the site plan for the proposed site. As mentioned, the project is proposing a new fueling station with 6 double-sided fueling stations, 5,347 square foot convenience store, and a 1,713 square foot car wash, as well as a 5,382 square foot retail building. That's in the north of the site there. We do also have proposed landscape plans for the site. The applicant is proposing removal of all existing trees on site with the exception of 1 oak tree, and that's on the southeast corner of the lot, and that's shown right down here. Along with that, there are 62 new trees that are proposed for the site, including 4 trees along the public frontage on Calvine Road and a number of parking lot shade trees to meet parking lot shading standards. On screen here, we have the elevations for the proposed convenience store and car wash. These are the south and east elevations for this building. Both uses would occupy a combined total of 7,060 square feet. Here we also have the building elevations for the proposed retail building. As shown here, these are the north and east elevations. Again, there are no current tenants proposed for this retail building on site. That'll be figured out by the applicant down the road. And lastly, we do also have the elevations for the fueling station canopy area. As previously mentioned, there would be 6 double-sided fueling stations. Along with that, there are additional elevations from all of the directions for all exhibits shown in your hearing packets as attachment 5. The project was reviewed under CEQA. An initial study mitigated negative declaration was prepared for this project and was released for public review on June 17th of this year. The document discussed the topics listed on the slides and concluded that the project would result in less than significant impacts with the implementation of mitigation measures. The proposed project was reviewed by the DRAC on September 12th of last year, 2024. During the meeting, DRAC members expressed no concerns with the proposed use for the site. They mentioned that the current site is underutilized, given it is currently vacant, and that the proposed plans would be an overall improvement to the site as a whole, given the addition of the proposed landscaping. The DRAC recommends the Board of Supervisors find the project in substantial compliance with design guidelines. Additionally, the Vineyard CPAC met on September 12th of 2024 to hear and consider the project. However, a quorum was not able to be established, therefore no formal recommendation was made to the board. However, the members present did share a general sentiment of support for the project. With this, following staff's review, it was determined that the proposed project is consistent with the general plan, the Vineyard Community Plan, and the zoning code. The environmental document concluded that there would be no significant environmental concerns, and the proposed project was supported by DRAC and CPAC. Planning Environmental Review staff recommends the Planning Commission make the following recommendations to the board: determine the environmental analysis prepared pursuant to CEQA is adequate and complete, and adopt a mitigated negative declaration. Adopt the mitigation monitoring reporting program, and adopt the ordinance amendment, approve the conditional use permit, and find the project in substantial compliance with design guidelines, all subject to findings and conditions. That concludes my presentation. I am available to answer any follow-up questions. We do also have the applicant team present to answer any follow-up questions as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any questions for the dais? I do have just one quick question, sir. I was actually just there by the site this morning, just so happened to be getting my tire done at America's Tire, which is right next door. I did notice that they have a lot of semi trucks pulling in and pulling out. Was that considered at all in the traffic analysis, just to make sure that there's adequate space for the turn-in of vehicles on that median, or that, I don't want to call it suicide lane, but that merging lane?
The merging lane to like on Calvine?
On Calvine, yes, sir.
Oh, yes. So that was something that was looked at during the traffic report that was done. I do believe that there was conversations between Department of Transportation and the applicant to potentially extend that medium, as well as a signal for the half-turn lane that could result in the removal of 2 oak trees in that medium, and there had been mitigation measures added to the project to mitigate for the removal of those 2 trees in the medium if needed. But it was looked at, yes.
Understood. And what was the conclusion? Are they going to make changes to the project as you had described, or?
Right. So the consideration would be to extend the medium, likely if needed, for the overflow of the cars doing the half-turn signal, or like a U-turn maneuver on Calvine. And then there would also be an agreement with the applicant and the city of Elk Grove for a half-turn signal on that on Calvine as well. And I believe that the condition was that it was to enter an agreement with the city to pay agreement of potential fees that needed to be worked out in order to get that half-turn signal established.
Understood. Yeah. Thank you. Any other questions from my fellow commissioners?
Which exception he's participating? Well, he can vote if he's hearing, and he can.
Yeah. Do you mind? Sorry, we have our Chair Conklin, who I believe was able to join us during the beginning of your presentation. I believe that Madam Clerk would make an announcement or introduce Chair Conklin.
So Chair Conklin has notified our office that he is unable to attend the meeting in person and would like approval to attend remotely under emergency provisions of AB 2449. In order to do so, this commission will need to approve that request by a motion.
Thank you. Is there a motion to allow Chair Conklin to join?
I'll make the motion to allow Chair Conklin to join.
Second.
Okay. I'll call for a vote. Are we doing a voice vote or?
Voice vote.
Okay.
Member Borja?
Yes.
Member Corona Sabagnano?
Yes.
Member Verga?
Yes.
That vote passes.
All right. Thank you. Chair Conklin, I'm going to be handing the meeting back to you. If you're able to, please speak as you can. Okay.
The vote of confidence of allowing me to join remotely today. So we have the presentation by staff. Has the applicant had an opportunity to speak, or are we waiting for any other questions from the dais
And Chair,
for staff?
Before
Yes.
we continue, if you can just confirm if there is anyone in the room with you?
Oh, no one is in the room with me. I am by myself.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Please continue.
Yep. Was there any other questions from the dais for staff?
No other questions, Chair.
No.
Okay. With that, is the applicant available? Like to provide some remarks?
Good evening, Commissioners. I am Kurt Wagenknecht with K-12 Architects. The owner is also here. We have read through the conditions of the project presented by staff, and we are in approval of these conditions. If you have any other questions, I'm glad to answer them.
Thank you very much. Is there any questions from the dais for the applicant?
No questions.
All right, thank you very much. Is there any comments from the public?
We have no comments.
All right. bringing it back to the dais, is there anyone who would like to kick it off as far as deliberations and comments or reflections?
I
I'd
don't
like
know if
to
you can
move.
see us shaking our heads no, but no, not for me
Okay.
anyway.
Is there a motion?
I'd like to move staff recommendation.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Clerk,
I'll
can you
call.
please call the roll?
Absolutely. Member Borja,
Yes.
Member Conklin,
Yes.
Member Corona Sabignano,
Yes.
Member Berga,
Aye.
and with those members present, we have that vote passes. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Moving on to the next item on our agenda. Clerk, will you please call it out?
And we're going to go back to item number 1.
Okay. And that's under our non-contested part of our agenda?
That is correct.
All right. Is staff going to be presenting on this? Is there a desire for staff to present, or is I'm looking to my vice chair to see if it'd be my eyes and ears there?
Mr. Chairman, I have to
Yep.
make a notification for transparency's sake. I am actually the chairman of the Park and Rec Board, so I have to accuse myself from this vote.
Okay.
And I will
So-
call the item.
Thank you, clerk.
Yes, and just go sit out in the gallery.
Item number 1 is PLMP 2024-00199. This is a use permit, a special development permit, and a design review. This property is located at 5127 Heartland Drive in the Antelope community, and the environmental document is a mitigated negative declaration.
Okay. And is there a desire from the commissioners to have staff present?
No, Chair Conklin.
Okay. Any comments from the public?
Well, you need the applicant first.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. Is the applicant there?
Yes, he is.
Would
Yes,
the
he is. Let
applicant
me-
would the applicant like to address the commission?
It looks like your mic is muted, Justin. And the applicant is remote as well.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Perfect. Good evening, commissioners. My name is Justin Gronendijk with Sequoia Deployment Services with Verizon. We do not have any comments at this time unless you guys have any questions for us.
Thank you very much. Is there any questions from the dais for the applicant?
No, Chair.
Thank you. Thank you very much, applicant. Is there any comments from the public?
It looks like we do have one public commenter.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and swear you in before you speak. And may I have your thank you so much.
Last week.
Please raise your right hand, and the appropriate response is, I do. Do you swear that the testimony you are about to give to this board is the truth, so help you God? And if you do not swear, do you affirm?
I affirm.
Thank you.
My name is Livingston Graves. I live in Antelope near the Teetotum Park, where the proposed cell towers to be installed. And I got your letter 2 weeks ago about the meeting, which got forwarded to this week. And I have a concern about installing the cell tower within such a dense populated area. And my first question is, I drove by the area today and noticed there's already a cell tower there. Can I ask if that is Verizon's tower?
We can definitely have that question raised to the applicant.
Yes,
when
that
they're
current
given the
tower.
opportunity for response.
Yeah, I have a photo of the tower. I can present it to the clerk.
If you can continue with your public comment, and we'll respond to any questions once the public comment's done.
Okay, thank you. My concern about this tower, if you take a sky view of the area, it is surrounded by RD7 residential thickness of human beings. And I've had some experience with EMF and RF. And I know that we need EMF and RF to live our daily lives. I'm not here to say do not apply electricity to my neighborhood or phone calls. But my son did come to my home last week, and he's a Verizon customer. I am not. And I asked him how many bars he had, and he had 3. And my concern is, are we considering this tower absolutely necessary? And if so, why is the reason for the necessity? Otherwise, why would we put so many residents within the RF fields? RF fields are no big deal if you drive past them or walk under them or whatever. But their harm comes in duration, and that is where my concern comes from. If people are going to live right there, their risk is higher. So yes, 5 doctors will say no, and 5 doctors will say yes. And we found out how that went with cigarettes and cancer. But I would be concerned if anyone is going to be able to answer the question. I was surprised to see that there was a tower already there. And I have a few questions as well that I was concerned about. One is...
Sir, if you could, sorry, I think Chair Conklin's not able to see the time. We did allow you for a couple of minutes of time just to be respectful of the quorum, sir. However, as a member of the public, I think it'd be great if you can send your questions to either the staff.
I can do that.
Yes, sir.
But I just also want to note, I'm here on behalf of the neighbors who live near that tower. And I just want you to understand that maybe one person is standing before you, but I represent, and I don't want to say gang, but a number of people.
Thank you, Mr.
Okay?
Thank you, Mr. Graves.
We would love to live with reduced RF and EMF in our lives if we could. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Graves.
Thank you, Vice Chair, for helping me watch the clock.
Thank you. Are there any other public comments in this item?
There are none.
Sorry, Chair Conklin,
Okay.
I stole your thunder. Pass the button.
No,
mic
not
back
at
to you.
all. You did not. I appreciate your assistance. So seeing no other questions from the public, I'd like to bring the applicant back to respond to public comments.
Yes. So to answer the first question, the current tower across this tennis court is a T-Mobile cell tower. We worked with the park to either reuse that tower, which we would have to add another 35 feet, which the park then shut down that idea. So they proposed us adding our separate tower to match the current one. Regarding the coverage, on page 8 of our coverage maps, there is the current coverage, which is very red, which means that most Verizon users would have to go outside to get some type of cell service, and it's not fully reaching indoors. With the new tower and the proposed location, it would bring indoor network to the area, as seen as on page 9 of the coverage maps. Regarding the RF exposure question he had, on page 8 of the DTEC RF report, there is a map that shows the exposure limits, that limits to around the tennis courts, but don't get close to the actual residential houses.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Is there any questions from the commissioners for the applicant on his rebuttal? No? All right. Thank you, applicant. I appreciate it. Bringing it back to the commission. Anyone from the dais have any comments? Want to kick it off? Is there entertaining a motion if there's no discussion?
So I'd like to, Chair Conklin, this is Vice Chair Borja, I'd like to just make a couple of comments. So we typically do not see a lot of cell phone towers that's within the county limit. That is a county established limit. I'm looking at staff here. I want to say it's 55 feet. And so this proposed tower is going to 50 feet. The second thing that I did ask is that we, as part of the staff analysis, I do believe that we are required to look at the FCC guidance for RF exposures, and it's a requirement for both the applicant and our staff to look into making sure that we do meet FCC guidelines, and I don't believe that we have the ability to question the guidelines when it comes to both public health and safety, because we're prescribed to accept that report. And then the third thing that I'd like to just note for the records, the applicant, or at least the owner of this property, is the Sunrise Board, Sunrise Recreation Park District, who's also, I believe, either an appointed or an elected group of officials that may have already publicly noticed this application, at least from my initial research, that they've already publicly noticed this cell tower, I don't want to say deal, but transaction for the members of their public. And so if they're, looking at Mr. Graves, if there are any concerns with that, I would probably not be a bad idea to talk to your local representatives from the park district to see, to talk about your concerns. They are the owners of the property, and y'all live in that community and therefore enjoy the park. So I think that would be an appropriate conversation to have. But with that said, I'd be comfortable moving staff recommendation at this time.
All right, so we have a motion from the vice chair. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second. Clerk?
Members Borja,
Yes.
Members Conklin,
Yes.
Members Corona Sabagnano,
Yes.
and with those members, you do have a passing vote.
All right.
Thank you.
Clerk, can we go to the next item on the agenda?
Yes, item number 3 is PLMP 2022-00258. This is a tentative parcel map, a special development permit, a waiver for a parcel map for condominiums and a design review. And the property is located at 7298 Stockton Boulevard in the South Sacramento community. And the environmental document is a mitigated negative declaration.
Thank you very much, Clerk. Is the county staff available to propose or present on the project?
Hello, my name's Austin Chan, Associate Planner and Lead Planner for this project. This is Florian Townhomes. The project is located at 7298 Stockton Boulevard at the intersection of Stockton Boulevard and 66th Avenue in the South Sacramento community. The subject site is currently vacant. The project is located in the light commercial zoning district. Surrounding uses include a restaurant to the north, apartments to the south, a service station and a vacant parcel to the east, and single-family residential and vacant parcels to the west. There have been 7 code violations cited since 2019 for overgrown vegetation, junk and rubbish, and homelessness encampments. All code violations have since been closed. Additionally, in 2022, there was a request for a lot line adjustment, which was approved, which adjusted the shared property lines between the original 2 commercial lots to accommodate the proposed project and future development. Additionally, a portion of the site, due to that lot line adjustment, was identified on the housing element vacant land inventory for low-income development potential, and a no net loss analysis was conducted. The request is for a tentative parcel map to divide the 2.21 acre parcel into a 1.448 acre parcel and a 0.77 acre parcel for the purpose of developing a 38-unit condominium community in the light commercial zoning district. Additionally, the request includes a special development permit to deviate from the frontage landscape planter width, perimeter planter, driveway separation, front and side street yard fencing, setbacks, and the building window offsets. The request includes a waiver for a parcel map for condominiums per section 22.20.076 of the Sacramento County Code for each resultant parcels of the tentative parcel map. And lastly, a design review to determine substantial compliance with Sacramento County countywide design guidelines. An initial study and mitigated negative declaration was prepared and released for public review on June 16, 2025. Impacts discussed include air quality, biological resources, cultural resources, greenhouse gas emissions, and hazards and hazardous materials. The project would result in less than significant impact with the implementation of mitigation measures. Here is the proposed tentative parcel map. It would be 2 separate parcels, and this is for phasing purposes. Here is the proposed site plan, which includes 8 separate buildings and 38 total units. Each unit would be 3 stories and include a 2-car garage and a private yard, and would be maintained by an HOA. There is also a proposed community garden as a shared space here. Here is the proposed landscape plan. There would be landscaping along Recwa Way, Stockton Boulevard, 66th Avenue, and along the back property line as well. The project includes 4-bedroom units and 3 bath with a balcony or deck. And there are 4 plans for this condominium site, all with various configurations and slight differences in square footage. Here are the proposed elevations for the project, with a total of 34 feet tall, and again, these are 3-story buildings. The project went to the Design Review Advisory Committee on March 28, 2024, where they recommended the Planning Commission find the project in substantial compliance with design guidelines. The project also went to the South Sacramento Community Planning Advisory Council on April 17, 2024, where they met and heard the project, but due to a lack of quorum, did not provide a formal vote. The CPAC did express concerns with traffic, affordability, and fencing, creating a less welcoming environment to the surrounding neighborhood. Staff found that the project was consistent with the general plan and community plan, compatible with surrounding zoning and land uses, found in substantial compliance with design guidelines, provided new housing opportunities, and a no-net analysis was done and concluded that there are sufficient remaining sites identified in the inventory for lower income category to adequately meet the county's remaining regional housing need allocation. Therefore, Planning and Environmental Review staff recommends the following. Determine that the environmental analysis prepared pursuant to CEQA is adequate and complete. Adopt the mitigation, monitoring, and reporting program. Approve the tentative parcel map subject to findings and conditions. Approve the special development permit subject to findings and conditions. Approve the waiver for a parcel map for condominiums for each resultant parcel of the tentative parcel map subject to findings and conditions, and find the project in substantial compliance with design guidelines. That will conclude my presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions, and additionally, the applicant is here.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the presentation. Is there any questions for staff?
I do have a quick question, Chair. This is Vice Chair Borja. Thank you for the presentation, Ms. Chan. I tried to read a little bit more about the Subdivision Map Act, and if you could just kind of explain to me the process of the waiver. I understand that we do have in Sacramento County Code that we can waive a parcel map, but what would be the advantages or disadvantages for this process, or why would an applicant go through requesting this waiver?
Yeah, so this waiver is specifically for a parcel map for condominiums. So it's not the tentative parcel map that's included in this project. It's for each individual condominium. So these will be sold as individual ownership. And when you sell a condominium, it's that airspace. So this would be for an air map, basically, of the tentative parcel map, so that when condominiums are built, they need to be built before that map is provided. So to request this at this point in time means that the applicant can move on to getting the following permits, but wouldn't have to go back through this process when they're ready to sell those individual condominiums.
Understood. Thank you.
Are there any other questions from the dais?
Not for me, no.
I'm going to rely on my vice chair as my eyes and ears there.
No,
Looking to the left, looking to the right.
I am. I'm not seeing any other questions from the dais, Chair Conklin.
Thank you very much. All right. We'll move over to the testimony for the applicant, if they're available.
Yeah, my name is Stan Gamble. Good evening, Commissioners. I'm the applicant. We've been working on this project for over 3 years. And what we are trying to do is, to the north and west, there's single-family homes. To the south, there's condominiums and apartments. So we thought we would do something in between, so to speak, and do townhomes for people who really can't afford a single-family home, but don't really want to live in a condominium. Now, this is a condominium legally, but in all sense and purposes, the people will have exclusive use of the property on which their townhome is. So the word condominium is a little bit, how shall I say, a little bit confusing. We did want to do townhomes with their own individual lot, but the lot wouldn't comply to the minimum size. So that's why we had to do a condominium. But to all intents and purposes, the people will have exclusive use of their property. Due to the irregular shape of the property, and also to meet the minimum zoning, which is 20 to the acre, we had to ask for some special development deviations. I didn't quite agree with what staff wrote for some of these, and I did, with the civil engineer, sit down on Friday and go through it, and I think I sent explanations for each of the items to you.
All right. We'll hand that to the clerk and have that passed to the members of the dais.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry, sir. Please continue.
No, that's
Please
it.
continue.
Oh,
That's
Oh,
it.
well, thank you very much.
Any questions?
Any questions from the dais for the applicant?
Yes, sir. Just one quick question. So you did mention I don't want to butcher your words, sir, but you said you had some disagreements with staff. Can you just, are you not agreeing with the staff report or the recommendations?
Oh, no, we're fine with it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're fine. We think staff did a really good job.
Okay.
Even if it did take forever.
Okay. Understood.
But that's the nature of the beast these days, everywhere.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we'll move to testimony from the public. Is there any members of the public that wish to comment?
We have no members who want to comment.
Okay. And we'll move it back to the commission, or for the dais for any questions.
Yes, Commissioner, Chairman, I have one question. I'm trying to understand the submittal of what was sent to us about the handwritten part versus the staff's recommendations. Can we get someone from staff to delineate what the differences are?
Yeah, it does seem like there were some clarifications made by the applicant on the extent of the deviations being requested. So I think the way we have written it up is this is what is being deviated from and here's what is being proposed. He just went into further depth on kind of the nuances of where exactly that's being deviated from on the plan set. That's my understanding. I don't know if there's any other thoughts on that, but that seems to be what it is.
So there's no real practical difference in what you are recommending versus what he's...
Correct.
Okay, it's just more of an in-depth review by him than
Yes.
you folks? Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Looking to the left, looking to the right.
I don't believe so.
No, sir.
Chairman.
Okay. Is there anyone entertaining a motion?
I'll make the motion to move item 3 with the staff recommendations as presented.
Okay. We have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Member Borja,
Yes.
Conklin,
Yes.
Corona Sabignano,
Yes.
Verga,
Aye.
and with those votes, that vote passes.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. And I believe that concludes the agenda, and we're moving over to the director's report.
Just a quick clarification. Did we formally drop item 4 already?
No, we did not.
Should we proceed with that?
Yes, I'll go ahead and call that out. Item number 4 is PLMP 2022-00289. That is a tentative division, subdivision map and design review. And that property was located at 7948 Sunset Avenue, approximately 133 feet east of the intersection of Sunrise Boulevard and the Sunset Avenue in the Fair Oaks community. And that environmental document is exempt, and it is noted that this item will be dropped from the agenda.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Just a brief director's report tonight. I think at least one of the commissioners had asked a question about some recent legislation related to housing and CEQA. And so just a real quick brief overview. This was a budget trailer bill just passed in early July, took immediate effect. So AB 130 and SB 131 were the two pieces of legislation that were included in the budget trailer bill. There are a number of interesting pieces here on AB 130. What it does is creates a CEQA exemption for urban infill housing, and there's a number of criteria for meeting this exemption. For example, the projects must not be located in natural and protected lands, which is defined. Very high hazard, fire hazard, severity zones, hazardous waste sites, prime farmland, and floodways. There's a lot size limitation, upward limitation of 20 acres. Sites have to be previously developed or at least 75% surrounded by urban development within a quarter mile. They have to have certain densities that are specified in SB 375, and they have to be consistent with zoning, general plan, and specific plan standards. This bill also creates an interesting shot clock, what we call. 60 days for ministerial approval for certain permits, which means that the local agencies have to either approve or deny eligible applications within that time frame, and that is starting from a receipt of a complete application. So we are actually going through this to see which projects we have in the pipeline that might be affected by this bill, and trying to get our questions answered internally. The other one, SB 131, creates 12 new CEQA provisions, including a number of statutory exemptions and some limited scope CEQA review for housing projects that might otherwise qualify for an exemption, but for, say, one or two circumstances. And so there's a pretty lengthy list here. I'm not going to go through all of it, but I can summarize it and send it out to everybody for your reading enjoyment. We are also taking or keeping a watch on anything that's coming out of this session moving forward, and we'll be incorporating everything into the zoning code and/or county code as needed. One thing that we recently did in the county code was incorporate, I'm drawing a blank on the legislation, there was a requirement for ministerial processing of up to 10 lot subdivisions in certain specifications in urban areas. The Board of Supervisors just last week took action on that ordinance, so it's now or will be in effect very shortly. We don't know how many applications we expect to see as a result of that, but it is a ministerial process now. So, and that's all I've got for tonight.
So just a question, is basically that originally, if I remember reading correctly, that was supposed to make it easier and faster to build these houses. Do they do that on the back of the process, meaning from the commissioner standpoint, that it's an administrative review, no longer goes to the commissioner or goes to the Board of Supervisors? It just has to be done at your guys' level and cuts us basically out?
That's true in some cases, yes. Not all, but some cases.
And how does it deal with the community reaction to those types of projects?
That's an excellent question. One that I don't have a good answer for.
That's what I thought. Thank you.
As a follow-up to that, Director Smith, does that mean that those types of projects ministerially do not also have to go to the design review and advisory committee?
Not necessarily, so that we have to, they have to be consistent with the objective standards, which are included in the zoning code. They would still also go through design review, which is ministerial.
Understood.
Just to follow up, but doesn't that also tie your processes in your hands in terms of what you can require?
It could, especially if we're following that 60-day shot clock. We have to take a look at the process from complete application to make sure we can get whatever required steps, and if we need to look at our required steps, modify them in order to comply with that 60-day maximum time frame.
And that process is how much of that's going to mess up your existing system now?
That's what we're trying to figure out.
So it's
we're not even a month into these bills, and we're taking a very hard look at all of that.
So it's going to add another whole system within your own process.
It could.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions for our director? Nope. Okay, thank you very much, Planning Director. Moving on to miscellaneous scheduling items.
And Chair, before we move on to that, I do need to formally have you vote to drop item number 4 from the agenda.
Oh, I apologize for that.
No, my apologies.
Clerk, will you please?
So I did call the. Oh, no, I did call the item, and so if you guys want to, I just need a.
Oh, okay, understood. So is the applicant there?
Well, for this item, it is being dropped from the agenda, so I just need you guys to vote to drop it.
Okay, so we're just opening up.
I need a first and a. Yeah.
You need a motion.
Thank you. Yes.
I'll make a motion to drop item number 4.
Second.
Thank you. We got a motion and a second. Clerk, please call the roll.
Member Borja,
Yes.
Conklin,
Yes.
Corona Sabignano,
Yes.
Berga.
Aye.
Thank you very much. That vote passes.
Thank you very much for the clarification. I thought we still needed to run through public comment and those opportunities, so I apologize.
No worries at all.
All right, moving on to miscellaneous scheduling items.
I have nothing on my agenda other than attendance. If there's going to be any attendance, if you could just let me know or send me an email. Otherwise, that's all.
Okay. And then moving over to public comment. Any members of the public wish to provide comments on a non-agenda item?
We have no one here for comments.
Okay. Well, with that, we'll adjourn at 6:27 this evening.